In our final lesson this month about lessons from the garden, we're going to touch on a topic you might not have anticipated, and that is the science of food. Now, when I started researching for this, I wasn't sure what I'd find. We had some suggestions on what to look for. I was astounded at how much material was online. So I'm going to encourage you. We're going to give you some links, plenty of material to be had out there. So, the science of food. What are some of the things we can learn about in the process of gardening? Well, one of the first ones is the biology and the chemistry that goes into growing and nurturing plants. You've got your soil, you've got seeds, you've got, watering, you've got the process of fertilizing. What goes into that? What kind of mix do different plants need? Where do you go to find some local horse manure for your garden? There are all kinds of fun things that come into this. How do you compost? To create rich soil to grow your veggies in. So there are lots of articles. We're going to give you links to two of them on this particular topic. One is at gardeningknowhow.com, and then the other one is at nature.org. And they're just great lessons, and through those you'll find links to other lessons. So look for ways to teach your grands about the biology and the chemistry that goes into growing your garden, plants and fruits and vegetables. What about the chemistry of preserving food? We've touched on that a little bit this month, but there's chemistry involved in doing it right so you don't make yourself sick. Most of us know that botulism is something that comes from poorly canned food, and you can become ill or worse. And so learn the science of preserving food properly. Take your grands through that process. Teach them how to freeze vegetables or fruits, or how to can them, but help them learn to do it the right way and know that it can be done safely. Our ancestors did this for generations after generations. We've been, fortunate enough to have grocery stores with shelves full of canned goods and whatnot, and we haven't had to do it. But I think many of us are finding that as, the produce changes, as the GMOs, have taken over, some of our food isn't quite what it used to be, or not what we remember. And so getting a little more organic, using heritage seeds, growing some of our own, preserving it, you just get back to some of the better taste of food that most of us remember from our youth. And again, here in this preserving, we're going to give you a couple of links to some lessons on food preservation and planning and preparing for that. So one comes from study.com and another one comes from kidsgardening.com. Tons of material out there to be had on these topics. So think about math and chemistry of food preparation. Okay, here's some questions I just jotted down. What makes bread rise? Talk to your grands about that, how yeast works and how leavening works. What makes pudding thick? Experiment in your kitchen and teach them that. Remember the old days when we cooked pudding? It wasn't just in cups we bought from the grocery store. Buy some cookable pudding and cook it up with them. Have them watch the process of that getting thick, and then talk to them about why it gets thick. How do flavors work together and complement each other? There's just so much if you think about not only what happens in the garden, but then what happens as we bring it into our homes and we produce the food that our family enjoys. Some activities, definitely click through these links. You'll find more activities than you'll have time to do. So I'm not even going to begin to try and name them. Find something on one of these links and then do it with your grandchildren. We love being grandparents, and we hope that you will be grand and enjoy gardening with your grandchildren.